Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy. And if you're new here and you like to get to the root of your issues and learn how to heal and deal, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you more often. And if you haven't left me a comment yet and you're new here, please leave a comment down below. I want to get to know you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. So today's topic is on responding over reacting with a narcissist. Now, if you clicked on this video, you most likely have done your research. You've been like, what is this person I'm dealing with? Why am I feeling this way? Now it's at the point where you're like, how exactly do I communicate with this person? They know things about me. They know how to push my buttons. They know exactly how to get to me. You may feel defeated and you're like, how exactly do I handle this person now? And if you're still unsure about understanding the narcissist and how to deal with them, I will leave the playlist that I have on narcissism in the description below. So the narcissists see everybody they come across as supply. They cannot have genuine connections. They are a very shallow person. They basically make decisions based off of ego because their ego is very bruised, and so they never really learn their sense of self. They never learn their wants and needs. They were never validated as children. So the only way they feel validated as a person is when they manipulate and control. They became the shell of a person where they think the only way to get their way, the only way to get their wants and needs met is to manipulate and to control. And one of the ways that they control and manipulate people is by provoking them for their reactions. That's the way they get their supply. That's the way they feed their ego. That's the way they feel like they matter. Their wants and needs are met. So in the beginning, they will test the boundaries and they will look for ways that they can get a reaction out of you. They want to see how can they manipulate you, how can they get a reaction to you, what kinds of things cause you to react in a positive or a negative way. Whether you react in a positive or a negative way, that's still feeding their supply. When they feel like you aren't doing exactly what they want, when you are misbehaving, they will then look for and provoke a negative reaction. And then they will be more positive towards you when they feel like you are feeding their ego in a positive way, which is basically you're doing or saying exactly what they want. So if you ever challenge them in their delusional world, or you rebel against them, which, ooh man, that's a big no-no for them, or you aren't being exactly how they want, this is when you'll see them provoking you. They are not aware of themselves and they don't know how to communicate what's going on, basically like a child. And they will then look for negative attention like a child does. And then they will love bomb you afterwards to get you to remember why you loved them in the first place. And as a way to erase the bad they just did. Or maybe even if they see you're drifting away, they may also start to be very positive towards you, love bombing you, giving you all the things that you want and need. They will try to remind you of why you got hooked on them in the first place. So it's a cycle. It's all about getting you hooked and then manipulating, controlling you, and emotionally abusing you when you're not obeying, and also love bombing you when you're being distant. They are afraid of abandonment. So when you're distant, that's terrifying. So they want to love on you to get you to come back. Their biggest fear is being rejected. And they don't know how to deal with these emotions. They're not even aware that they have these emotions. So they want to get you to do exactly what they want, but they don't want to deal with the fact that you are a human with emotions and wants and needs too. So it's natural that when someone provokes you, you will get defensive. You feel like you're on the attack and you'll get defensive. You want to defend your character. They're assassinating your character, so you want to defend your character. And when you react, they got you right where they want you. They want you to fit that narrative that they're the victim and you're the bad guy. And so they can't see what they're doing, but they can only see what you're doing. So when you're reacting in a negative way, they're like, oh my God, like this person, they're abusing me. They're doing all these terrible things to me. I'm not even doing anything. I'm being caring and loving. And look at this person, they're being terrible. And here I am, I'm just this helpless little victim. And this person, look what they're doing to me. And so that's the way they gaslight you, is they keep you in that place and they tell you, look at what you're doing to me. You're abusive. You're the bad guy. This tactic is used as a way to trap you. They got you right where they want you. So you want to make sure that you don't fall into that trap. This is how they mistreat their victims. So the way to deal with this is to make sure that you're responding and not reacting. And what that means is that a reaction is like an impulse. It's reacting with your emotions. It's immediate. It's defensiveness. It's ego. It's you feeling like you're being attacked and you need to go in like a survival mode. Responding is basically where you take the emotions out of it and you don't give them that emotional response. You are basically draining them of their supply because you're not giving them what they want. Then they will react. So you're basically turning it around on them. Rather than you flipping out, they then realize, oh, I guess I can't get this reaction out of them anymore. I can't get my way by doing this anymore. This tactic doesn't work. So expect your narcissist to say things that are going to attack you. They're going to accuse you of things. They're going to downplay or belittle your feelings. So expect these things. Once you expect it, you won't be surprised when it happens. Here's the thing. The part of your brain that involves your decision making also involves your emotions. So when they create fear in you, it then causes you to make decisions based on that fear. It's also a sales tactic that salesmen make. They know that your decisions and your emotions are connected, so they will try to sell you things based off of emotion. The narcissist uses the same tactic. That is how they bully you. That's how they get you to do the things that they want. And then you question yourself later, why did I do that? So now that you're aware of that, you want to make sure that when you're making decisions, you make sure that you're not afraid. You don't make decisions when you're being provoked and when you are afraid. They are trying to trap you. So you want to make sure that you don't get trapped. So the thing is, when they are saying these things, when they are pushing your buttons, when they are saying these things, you most likely get a feeling in your body. You'll get tense. You'll feel like you need to explode. You'll get an impulse, like you need to scream or you need to defend yourself. So you need to recognize when you are starting to feel that way. So recognize maybe in your stomach, maybe in your chest, maybe in your throat, wherever it is, recognize that, and that's your sign to take a deep breath. Take a couple deep breaths, because when you take deep breaths, those are grounding techniques. That helps you to ground you and bring you back to where you are rather than reacting off of emotions. It brings you back to your center, what's going on right now in the present. The other thing is you want to empower yourself. You want to remain in control because you are in control. They cannot control how you react and they can't control how you feel. You are in control of that. Even if they try to say like, oh, you made me feel this way and all these things, like that's not true. No one's in control of our feelings. We're in control of our feelings and the way we react to things. So instead of doing your usual where you'll defend yourself, you'll scream, whatever it is, tell yourself, I know my truth. I know what's right. I don't have to prove myself to this person. They are mentally unwell. That's something I had to do. I am a big reactor. I grew up in a very explosive home, very angry, and I'm very impulsive with my emotions. I go 0 to 60 real quick. I may be calm on these videos, but I can get real angry. And that's because that's the way that I grew up. I grew up in a lot of anger. And I grew up constantly reacting. Like when my narcissist would say something, like I would have to come right back and defend myself. I was always about defending my character. I always felt like I needed to prove myself and defend myself. I always cared so much about the truth. When in reality, I knew my truth. I just let them get in my head and doubt myself. So you need to do that where you don't doubt yourself and you tell yourself, I know my truth. I know I don't have to prove myself. I can prove myself to myself, and that's all that matters. So some examples of responding rather than reacting after you've calmed down are saying things like, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not responsible for your feelings. I don't feel that way, but that's fine if you do. I can't control the way you feel. So you want to say things like that, where it's partially acknowledging them because they genuinely believe that, and if you tell them they're wrong or that you know the truth and all of these things, it's just gonna lead you into this big battle and you're gonna be exhausted because you can't fight with a brick wall. You'll never win. It's a losing battle. So rather than constantly defending yourself, you need to ask yourself, what do you care more about? Do you care more about being right, or do you care more about being happy? Because if you care more about being right, that again is ego. That will always lead you to react with your emotions. But if you care more about being happy, that's when you will make decisions to help you be at peace. The other thing that's really important is don't get sucked into their stonewalling, or when they're trying to make you did something wrong when you didn't do anything wrong. So don't apologize unless you actually did something wrong, because when you apologize for something that you didn't do wrong, you're admitting you did something wrong, which then makes you fit that narrative they're trying to portray it on you, and it encourages them to continue to do that. Unless you believe you did something wrong, then don't apologize. Don't give in to what they want. So when it comes to responding, overreacting, it's important you, one, recognize when you are about to get angry and get defensive. Recognize where that feeling is coming from. Take deep breaths, maybe 3 deep breaths, and then respond in a way where it's not with your emotion. You're responding in a way to disengage them, but you also are making sure to protect yourself from going further into their abuse. It can be really difficult to deal with this because you're a human, and of course you're going to sometimes react. And it's not your job to be perfect. You just need to try to apply these tools, because this not will only help you with narcissists, but it'll help you with people that are pushing your buttons or provoking you in any sort of way. It's you empowering yourself and you taking control over your life. What do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Narcissism. I will leave the playlist that I have on narcissism. And you liked when they are pushing you, but oh, it's been rainy all day, and now the sun's coming out. I'm either bored of myself or I'm tired.